Alright guys, it's the morning or the afternoon now after Liverpool and Wolves played that 2-2 draw in the FA Cup third round. I'm only just getting round to the video right now because I went to the game last night and I've also been fairly busy with my own football this morning. But it was an entertaining game. I think both sides could have potentially won it. I think Wolves will feel very aggrieved that they didn't win it. I think they were very unfortunate watching it back this morning during breakfast. But yeah, the game as a whole, Liverpool, it was a much better performance in attack. I thought we just looked a bit more, I don't know, like a team, if that makes sense, passing it around a lot more and looking, I don't know, maybe not dangerous, but definitely looking more comfortable in possession. That could just be down to the fact we're at Anfield, so that obviously will make a difference. But yeah, Liverpool were dominant in possession at the start of both halves, but it was Wolves who took the lead, and yeah, it was just a moment of madness from Alisson. I thought it was poor from Thiago to lose the ball where he did, but I mean the chance is gone when Alisson gets the ball, and yet 2 seconds later Goncalo Guedes has put it into the back of the net. So yeah, that was disappointing definitely, but Alisson, he's prone to one of these errors every now and again, and once or twice a season usually, but he's a top class goalkeeper. He's probably been Liverpool's best player so far this season, so I'm not going to give him too much flack. It was just a one-off poor game. And yeah, Liverpool responded reasonably well to that. Wolves, they had moments where they might look like they might get a second. But yeah, the Liverpool equaliser came just before half-time from a bit of a dodgy clearance from Nathan Collins, who had an otherwise really good game, I thought. So that it was a little bit disappointing that well, for Wolves fans, that he did what he did. Just cleared it into an area where he left the Wolves defence a bit vulnerable, because Trent Alexander-Arnold had loads of yards to run into, got it out of his feet and whipped in a cross, and Darwin Núñez at the back post with a really controlled finish, and I was impressed by that, because Núñez over recent weeks has missed obviously loads of chances, and it's just he isn't calm in front of goal. He doesn't seem composed at all. But this was a composed finish, so maybe, hopefully, someone in the Liverpool coaching staff, has tried to work on this with him, because it was a bit of a problem, his poor finishing. So maybe if he can relax in front of goal, he will score quite a few more this season. He's already hit double figures now, which, I mean, when people compare him to poor strikers in the Premier League in the past, I think that definitely goes against that. I don't think Núñez is a poor striker. I just think he's had a run of poor form in front of goal. But yeah, it was a well-taken goal and a brilliant assist from Trent Alexander-Arnold, who has actually been one of Liverpool's better players over the past few weeks, I think. But that has gone largely unnoticed. But yeah, second half, once again, Liverpool came out with a really strong start and did get the goal this time. This time it was Mo Salah who put the ball in the back of the net. And there was a few crosses coming from the left, from players like Thiago, Fabinho, sometimes Robertson or Gakpo as well. And one of them, a minute before, Toti Gomez cleared the ball, and he was just about able to get there, and then moments later the exact same thing happened. This time it just sort of skinned his head, fell to Salah, and Salah did what Salah does, in front of goal. There's not usually many questions about him. A lot of people have said Salah's not been quite at the level this season as he has been in the past, but he's still nearly at 20 goals already halfway through the season, so he's having a goal-scoring season that's gone very under the radar. I don't think his overall performances have been quite as good as they have been in the past, but he's still managing to stick the ball in the back of the net, so that's part of his job anyway. But then Liverpool started weakening their team, and Wolves started strengthening it, and from then on, Wolves just started to, manage to get forward a bit more. And Liverpool's midfield and defence, they just seem to be, considering Liverpool were playing a formation that has seven defenders and midfielders, it didn't seem like there was that many. Is the best way I can describe it. And Hee-Chan managed to equalise for Wolves after a quick counter-attack. And my problem with the goal for Liverpool is that Alexander-Arnold's gone forward, fair enough, that's what he does. But if you're playing that way, and this is sort of looking at Jurgen Klopp here, you've got to, look at where your centre-backs are positioning themselves. Because Konate and Matip, it's fairly obvious who's playing on the right and who's playing on the left usually. Matip's always going to play on the right, Konate's always going to play on the left. But for some reason they switch over, they cross over, which I found really unusual. So yeah, not good for the goal that was from Hee-Chan, who came off the bench moments earlier. And yet they also made a couple of other subs as well. Wolves, Cunha came on to add an impact. Mateus Nunes, I thought, had a really good performance once he came on the pitch. But Liverpool made subs. They brought in Keita, who was decent. Ben Doak as well, I thought, was really good when he came on. But other than that, the others didn't really make an impact. And Cody Gakpo had his Liverpool debut, obviously, I need to mention that. Yeah, it wasn't an amazing game, but it wasn't bad. But yeah, we'll get into. Oh no, need to mention the Wolves disallowed goal. So the linesman gave it offside, obviously, and I was the other side of the pitch, so I didn't see it at the time. But to me, it didn't look like it was offside. I think Liverpool got away with one there. I understand why VAR didn't overturn it, because there was something about the camera angle, and that Mateus Nunes wasn't in shot, so they couldn't tell whether he was on off. So. That's poor from the cameraman and the linesman, but the VAR and referee, there's not a lot they can do in that situation, to be honest. But yeah, I think Wolves were really hard done by with this. But anyway, player ratings. Alisson, I've given a 4, just had a shocking game. Alexander-Arnold, I've given a 7. I think he was probably Liverpool's best player. Really good assist, and yeah, put in some key defensive actions. So yeah, definitely deserves a 7. And then Matip, Konate, I've given 5s because they just seem to be all over the place at times. Konate, for some reason, has been quite poor for Liverpool since he's come back from the World Cup over the past couple of games. Hopefully that changes soon. And Matip, it was just one of them games where it's just an off day for him, really. He's usually a consistent performer. Robertson, I've given a 6, and the entire midfield have actually given 6s as well. Henderson, Fabinho and Thiago, because they just played it safe a lot of the time, I thought. There were very few occasions where Thiago would pick up the ball and try and look for a pass forward. It was quite often that he'd just play it backwards and slow things down, which is not what you want to see as a Liverpool fan up against a weakened Wolves team in the first half especially. So yeah, they've all got 6s. Salah and Gakpo have also given 6s as well, because Salah took his goal really well, but wasn't overly involved, lost the ball quite a lot when trying to get forward. And Gakpo just had a bit of a quiet debut. He did some good things on the ball, but not I wouldn't say it was a great performance. And Nunez I've given a 7 because he took his goal really well and showed another side to his game which I haven't really seen yet at Liverpool, and that's his hold-up play. I felt sometimes when the ball did get forward, on just past the halfway line, he managed to hold the ball up well, and coming up against Collins and Toti Gomez, that's not easy, so he did quite well. And then for Wolves, I've given Sarkic in goal a 6 because I don't think there was anything he could do about either goal, to be honest, and didn't really do anything wrong. Made a couple of decent saves along the way as well. Lembakisa at right back, I gave a 6 as well. I thought he did quite well to keep an unfamiliar opponent, Gakpo, because you don't know what to expect from him. It's his first time in a new country. I thought he dealt with him really well, kept him quiet. Collins I've given a 6 because I thought he played well, but he did make that one mistake for the Nunez goal, so I think that's probably harmed his chances of getting a 7. And Toti Gomez I have given a 7 because he was really unlucky not to score the winning goal. Should have counted, I personally think. And yeah, had an all-round solid game. He was quite unlucky to let the ball go past him for Salah. He did his best, but just couldn't quite reach it. And it was a good ball over the top, to be fair. Johnny I've given a 6. Again, kept Salah quiet, did his job. Traore a 6 as well. It was a bit of a typical Traore performance really. He threatened quite a bit, but not really any end product. Neves have given a 7. A solid performance in midfield. Rarely gave the ball away, so yeah, he had a good game definitely. But my man of the match, I've given to Hodge in midfield because I thought he was superb, to be honest. He ran his socks off the team, gave Liverpool's midfield especially very little time on the ball, and I think that was partly why Liverpool were so reluctant to get it playing forward. Often it was him and not Hodge in particular, maybe not so much Neves, who was constantly pressing them and forcing them to release the ball rather than hold on to it and pick a pass. Aït-Nouri have given a 6 as well. Until he got injured, he ran his socks off up and down the left wing. So yeah, played well. And Jimenez and Guedes up front have given 6s as well because they kept Liverpool's defenders occupied, caused a few problems, but I wouldn't say it was anything spectacular. Guedes was absolutely gifted his goal. If he'd have missed that, I'd have given him about a 5. But yeah, they're the ratings for this game. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.